Coaching. What comes in mind when you hear that word? For some people, it means it's just going to ask for help. For others, they think it's showing that they are vulnerable or that it shows weakness. Today, we are going to talk about what coaching means in the Black community, its perception, and how we can help improve what people think about coaching. I have wonderful guests here who are going to help me tackle this problem. I have experts, coaching experts in different fields, and together, I hope we are going to inspire you. I hope we are going to change how you feel about coaching. And if you already love it, I hope we are just going to strengthen what you think about it. Thank you for joining me. Today, I'm at Nairobi Restaurant, our sponsor for today. For this and more, welcome to this new episode. I am Philly Yambo Makora, and this is the Tales of Yambo.
My name is Rachel, and first of all, I want to say thank you so much, Philly, for inviting me to this interview and here to Nairobi Restaurant. I am in my mid-30s, and I am a mom of one. I come originally from Kenya, but I've been living here in Germany for the past over a decade. But I was born and raised in Kenya, like I've said. And I came to Germany as au pair, and then after my au pair time, I came to Frankfurt because I did my au pair somewhere else. I came to Frankfurt to start with my study. So I went through the student colleague, what we do when we come with an education from Kenya. And then I started my studies of political science at the Goethe University here in Frankfurt. And after that, I've been working for the past 8 years in project management as a project coordinator. And also, besides my full-time job and besides being a mom, I'm also a life and mindset coach for women like myself who have gone through this corporate journey, but they feel that they need more out of their lives. Women who want more out of their lives and they need support to achieve their other goals. That's who I help through my life coaching business. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandra, a corporate and life skills coach. I help individuals go from being inspired, impressed, and in action in their corporate and life situations. I myself am originally from Zimbabwe, and that is where I was born and raised, and I moved to a foreign country, Germany, for an adventure. That adventure opened my eyes, gave me exposure to different culture, a language, but also greater career perspectives. So this is where I've been for 14 years, studying and working. And that journey has been one filled with challenges, understanding the local culture, understanding the language, and figuring out my place in this corporate environment. What is it that I like to do? What is it that I can do? And how do I show it to other people? This is the work that I do now, helping other people unlock it. Coaching brought me here, and now I try to help other people get to where they want to be today.
Welcome back, lovely viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. As you can see, today we are at Nairobi Restaurant, our sponsor for this interview. And they've added something really cool on their menu. And who else to tell you than the CEO and owner of Nairobi Restaurant, Gillian Pirot.
Welcome to Nairobi Restaurant. My name is Gillian Pirot. I'm the CEO and founder of Nairobi Restaurant. To esteemed customers, especially the young foodies, I would like to introduce today the Totos menu. So we have the Totos menu over here. And with the Totos menu, we have a vibrant of colorful foods, tasteful foods, healthy foods. And we shall begin with foods like Mhogo crisps. That is some crunchy chips from manioc, or most of us we call it cassava. With some dip sauce. We have a bunch of beef balls, chicken balls, viazi karai, all this suited with ingredients for children. We also have here some salad with a bit of eggs. So at least also it is also tasty for the children. It's not chili. So when people come to the restaurant, they have to realize that when they're ordering food for their children, the ingredients are a bit different. So you're most welcome to come over here to Nairobi and also bring in your children to have a good taste of the foods that we have for the Totos menu. And then we also have different juices. These are all freshly pressed, freshly blended in our kitchen. And also if you look at the utensils are very colorful. They're very children friendly. You don't have to worry that the children are going to break the utensils or anything. So if you look at the colors, it's really friendly to the children, attractive to the children. The food is also colorful and attractive to the children. We've also gone into succulent sauces like mango, coconut, and honey sauce here for the children. We have tamarind sauce, and we also have more sauces, but for today I'll just introduce the tamarind sauce and the mango coconut sauce. And that's it. I would like to welcome you all to Nairobi Restaurant, and I really look forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you very much.
So if you want to work together with Tales of Yambo, you're an entrepreneur, you have a brand, you have a location, and you want to work together with Tales of Yambo, you know what you have to do. Just contact us. And now for the reason why we are here. My lovely guests, thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you, Rachel, for being here. It's a great honor. And I'm sure everybody's dying to get and to delve into the topic. But before we start, what does coaching mean to you? I'll start with you, Sandra.
Well, thank you for having me, Philly. Coaching is something that's really close to my heart because it's something that was life-changing for me. And coaching in my capacity is about helping people to achieve the results that they want in the corporate space. At the moment, I call myself a corporate and life skills coach. So this is the area I focus on, helping people to achieve the best of what they can be in this corporate space.
So when we say we want to define coaching, it is basically getting help for something in a specific area.
Yeah, for me, it's about unlocking your potential, you know, gaining clarity on what it is that you want to achieve with that potential, and then figuring out how to get there with concrete action steps.
Rachel, I'd also ask you the same question, but maybe also add, because I think some people want to make distinctive differences between a coach, a therapist, a psychotherapist. I know they have similarities. There are areas where they have similarities, and there are areas where they have differences. In your opinion, what would you say?
So basically, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. And basically, like coaching, like Sandra has said, it's about helping people. You help people solve a problem they have been struggling with. So you provide them with a solution to something that has been challenging for them. Let's say, for instance, you are a mom and you gain some baby weight after having a kid, and you have been trying to get rid of that baby weight, and it's not working. So you can get a health coach to help you with that problem, because you have tried things, it's not working. So you can go and find someone who can help you with that. So it's all about, and the health coach provides you with a service, like they teach you what to do so that you get rid of that baby weight and stay away from it. So that's what a health coach would do. So we provide, as coaches, we provide a service to help to someone, to our clients that is, to help them achieve a goal they have been wanting to achieve but they have been struggling with. So that's basically what we do in coaching. Therapy, on the other hand, it's also about helping people. But while in coaching we focus on your future goals, like in the future you want, people are always saying, what is summer body? So you are looking to the future, you're looking forward to the summer. In therapy mainly, we help, people are getting help. I'm not a therapist, but people get help. It's mainly focuses on your mental health issues, mainly. Not only, but in my opinion, it's mainly. Like when you hear someone has a depression, for instance, you tell them you need to go see a therapist. If a friend came to me, I would tell them, if you have some issue that you have been struggling with, like things that came up because things that you experience as a child, during your childhood, like traumas, like something that has happened that affected you mentally and emotionally, that causes you to have like anxieties, then you need to go see a therapist, not a coach. But when you have like just future goals you want to achieve, meaning in this case, I would recommend more seeing a coach. But that doesn't mean because you have a therapist, you don't need a coach. You can have both at the same time. You can even have several coaches. Like we said, you can have a career coach, you can have a health coach, you can have a relationship coach. So you can have like 2, 3 coaches and even a therapist. And that will help you make your life even better. So it doesn't mean if you have a therapist, don't go to see a coach. So they complement each other on that case. But like we said, therapy mainly, like if you have depression, if you want to overcome something to do with your, you know, some obsession that you have, so to say, if you're addicted to, let's say, alcohol, for instance, then, and you want to get rid of that, but you have been doing that for years and you're not managed, then you go see a therapist.
And Sandra, this to you. Can somebody be both? Can somebody be my therapist and my coach at the same time? Because it's about getting help. Or do you think it has to be like...
No, I mean, definitely. I think, especially because it might be very difficult for you when you're going through these challenges to identify, am I experiencing something that we would consider a mental issue? Am I just struggling with some behavioral things that someone would be able to support me in their capacity as a coach. So I would say a coach is a safe choice to go to, and a qualified coach will be able to tell you, in this case, we are dealing with something that goes in the direction of a medical issue and direct you to the right resource. I think important is if you see someone, you know, that you identify with, that you believe you can trust, approach them, speak openly and clearly about what it is that you are experiencing, and they should be able to tell you if they're the right person to support you or direct you to the right professional.
And no matter what it is, to my fellow viewers, whether you're going to a coach, a therapist, a psychotherapist, there is nothing absolutely wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing to be ashamed about, especially like you should be even more proud of it. You know, you should be more proud of it because that means you're showing yourself self-love and self-care. Now, I'm really interested to know, I mean, did you just wake up and say, hey, I'm Sandra, I'm Rachel, I want to help people in this area? What really inspired you? Because I think it's not an easy job. It takes a lot of self-sacrifice. It also takes a lot of self-reflection because somebody's counting on you, basically counting on you because they want to achieve some goals. So I'm pretty interested what led you in that path. Let me start with you, Rachel.
Okay, first of all, that's a very interesting question because as coaches, you can wake up even today and decide you're gonna be a coach. The difference between coaching and being a therapist is you cannot practice as a therapist when you are not licensed. You have to go through some licensing, some education, some training to become a therapist. But as a coach, you can wake up tomorrow, even you, and say, I am a coach. But the thing is, it's not regulated. That's why everyone can call themselves tomorrow a coach. Nobody is going to come after you. It's not coaching, it's not regulated. Anyone can call themselves a coach, as long as, like, if you have figured out to solve a problem for yourself and you want to tell other people about it, why not monetize it? Like, if you have been struggling with something and then you discovered, oh, this is what I went through, this is what I did, and now I achieved this goal, then I'm going to teach other people about what my process. Sometimes it works for the people, sometimes it doesn't work, but normally coaching is about teaching people what I've been through, what have worked for me, and what they can apply. That's the thing. But to come back to your question about how I decided to become a coach, I grew up in Kenya, and I grew up in humble circumstances, but still I watched my mom liking to help people. Like, really, she used to help people even if we didn't have much for ourselves. So I got that thing about helping people from my mom, first of all. And then I went to high school, and in high school people used to come to me for advice. I don't know why, but like when they have a quarrel with other girls, like they come to me and ask me, what do I do? Like they said that and that about me. I'm like, okay, so I was like, peacemaker. I love peace. I was there telling people like what to do. Don't let that bother you. Like, I don't know how I had that wisdom and knowledge from, but it came to me naturally. So that's high school. I used to advise people. They have even written it on my autogram. I still have those books from high school, how I helped them. Those are the last things I said.
Cool.
Like I was encouraging people that way. And then I came to Germany. And even before I came to Germany, I found myself being attracted to personal development books. And the first book I bought when I was in Kenya, it's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And then I read that book still in Kenya. Then I come to Germany, and you know, people read here. So I started reading more books. But the books I was always attracted to, they're all anything to do with personal development. Reading those books, in 2017, I started a blog called Pure Motivation Blog to motivate people. Like I just want to motivate people. So I was blogging and telling people what I've read from the books and just sharing and trying those things out. And then in 2020, on Facebook, I saw someone advertise at a summit, and they called it Queens of the Internet. And I was like, Queens of the Internet?
Who are these queens?
The queens. I was so like interested on this.
Yes.
When I went to that summit, it was an online summit, a whole week summit. It was a coach who had coached a lot of people, and she's still my favorite coach in the coaching industry. And she had invited all her clients to share about their journeys, about like what they experience with coaching. And before that, I have never heard about coaching. I knew about personal development. I knew about motivational speakers, inspirational speakers. And I thought one day I'm going to become an inspirational speaker because I'm just encouraging people. But when I heard about these ladies talking about their lives, I noticed it's more about personal development, the things I've been doing, but I didn't know it could also be called coaching. So it's a lot to do with working on yourself. And I was like, okay, I'm a coach now. No, but what I did after that, I immediately hired my first coach just to work on myself, because one of the ladies was presenting there, and I liked them so much. I was like, I want to learn more about this thing called coaching. So I hired them, and they became my first ever coach. And it's a lot to do with personal development. I learned a lot about my mindset, how to work on myself. And then I ended up hiring more coaches and even joining group coaching programs to learn more about how I can build my own business, my own coaching business. So that's how I mainly came to start my own coaching business.
So what I'm hearing is you went through some kind of training. Like you just didn't wake up and say from today, because yes, now that's what the point. I really wanted to make it clear. Yes, you can wake up today and decide you want to be a coach, but you must work on yourself first, and there's some qualification needed, some training needed for it. My career expert, tell me, how did you get there?
In my case, I was here in Germany, and I was going through my own career journey. And I was doing, I think, relatively well for myself. You know, I was good at the job, I had the job opportunities, but with time I started to realize that this motivation, this fire was starting to leave me. Something just didn't feel right, you know. I always call it the Monday to Friday blues, right? It's the Monday blues that you have every single day. And coupled with that, I started to have some health issues, right? And what really triggered me to leave my job at that point in time was I saw how my colleagues were struggling with their health. And here in Germany, we say someone becomes arbeitsunfähig. You are unable to work, you know, and this fear of actually being unable to work is what made me think, hey, I have to rethink my situation. It didn't look like it was going in a good direction, you know. So once I left that job, I decided to take a 1-month break. And that was something very difficult for me to do, because with my culture, you know, I come from Zimbabwe, and there are always things to do. You know, we throw around the term black tax quite a lot. And so there's always something you need to do for someone. And taking a month off means you're in less of a good position or good standing to be able to do that. But I really felt my body, my mind, my everything told me that I needed that. And it was in this break that someone in my network suggested that I would speak to a coach. And I spoke to this woman. She told me about her journey. It resonated with me. And I said, you know what? Either I continue with my journey as it is, which was horrible. Really, it was just terrible. Which it doesn't always look like from the outside, right? But I was really struggling. I crashed, I burned. And I decided I'm going to take the chance on it. The worst that can happen is I still end up in the situation. And I started my coaching journey, and it's through that coaching journey that I was talking about my interests, my strengths, the things that I've achieved in the past, you know? So really reflecting on the past, the behaviors of others, the behaviors of myself, and I started to be able to design what the ideal career and work situation would be for me. And basically my coach said, so now we have it. It's something I'd been doing for years on the side, for very little money, you know, almost as a hobby or in my personal life, like Rachel said. And she said, why don't you do that as a career? And I always say, I first pulled out my bag of excuses. You know, and I said, I can't do it because of this qualification. I can't do it because of this and that. And I finally learned something that I share with my clients. Now, I've been delivering value for years, you know. Amazing. Why wouldn't I be able to continue to do that as a profession? Yeah. And so for me, it was really coaching that helped me to step into that. And so I started my business. I also received some business coaching, right? So I understand that being able to give the skills does not give you the skills to run a business in that area. But in both cases, it was coaching in terms of my mindset, my understanding myself, and then also how to run the business.
I totally understand, because I am also a product of coaching. Without it, I don't think I would be where I am. It really helps with the mindset. And sometimes for a person to say, hey, I need help, it means first they have to accept that they are vulnerable. They have to accept that I have a problem in this area. And we are part of this beautiful Black community. And we know in our DNA, we are taught to be strong. We are taught to be indestructible. We are told go for it, which is good. It's really good. But what perception does the Black community have in your own fields? Because I know you have different experiences, Rachel. In your experience, what's the perception that people have towards coaching?
I will start with the positive one, of course, because we are our products of coaching. Yes. So we think that coaching is a good thing. Otherwise, I used to think, am I the only the crazy one who hire coaches? Because we don't talk about it so much. But I came to learn that I'm not that special. If I am doing it, there's other people who are doing it. It's just that I don't know them. So there are some of us, it's not many, but there are people who really love coaching and see it as a big opportunity to create the freedom that we want in our lives. That's how I personally see it. I have a job, I've come and seen all that in Germany, and I'm like, this is not enough. This cannot be all. And now you look at what else can I do? You see, what are my strengths? What else? What interests me? And I found I love helping people, and coaching is all about helping people. So I see this as an opportunity. It's not the only one. We are all seeing coaching as an opportunity to not just change our lives, but the lives of all the other people who will be impacted because we chose to go through this path. So it's a big opportunity to create freedom for ourselves and to serve people and impact other people's lives. That's one way I would see coaching. And of course, like you said, people, we come from Africa. We are supposed to be strong women. We don't even ask for help. There are people who see coaching and they're like, no, this is not for us. This is not for people like us. We don't need help. This is for the white people, so to say. But it's not for people, we are strong. You feel like you want to do it all alone, on yourself. You can do it. And it's true, you can do it. But why struggle when you can ask for help? Why keep struggling? What do you want to prove? But it's you feel like you have earned it when you have worked alone on it. But that's not the point. So people sometimes think we have to struggle, we have to carry that badge of honor of struggling, because that's how we have been taught all our lives. You have to do it. You are a strong woman. You are a strong African woman. That's true. But we also are people who can accept help. And the other thing about how we see coaching as well, I would say people don't trust coaching a lot, unfortunately.
A lot of mistrust.
There's a lot of mistrust, but I can understand because, like we said in the beginning, coaching is not regulated. So there are everyone who want to scam people can call themselves a coach tomorrow and try to help other people. So, and there are people who
Helping
are
coach.
not, they're helping and it's not honest.
Yes.
So I can understand the people who don't trust the industry. So there's that mistrust. But also, like anyone who wants to become the coach, I really hope that people are going to do it with honesty and integrity. And people like us who are having coaching, they need to like share those reviews, share their testimonies, share our journeys.
Yes.
Like we are doing here, so that people can see this industry. It's not a scam. It's really a real one.
It's a real
There's a
thing.
big opportunity. It's still in its young stages. So there's so much potential.
so
That's
much
how I basically see it, and I believe it's there. The potential.
Thanks. Sandra, do you share the same sentiments?
Yes, except I'll add that often it's not even perceived at all.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist for very many people. This concept of having someone by your side to help you, whatever it is, whether it's a health coach, like Rachel mentioned, or someone who helps you with your career, it's just something that's so foreign to them, you know. And so there are many misconceptions about what it is that we do as professionals, you know. I often get messages like, oh, you're a career coach, do you have jobs? You know, like I sit with a bag of jobs there, handing them out to the right candidates. So there really is a lack of exposure. And that's growing, and I think it grows when platforms like this really shed light on it. And it's also a lot about people like myself sharing the challenges that they faced and saying, you know what, I'm super vulnerable. At some point, my life was really terrible, like yours right now. And I was able to get someone to help me to change that. So it's also about the culture that romanticizes this suffering and believes it's just about pray through it and toughen up and you'll get through it, you know. And there are still very, very few people who stand up and say, you know what, I was going through it and I decided to get someone to help me and it worked out for me. And here I am now as a product of coaching, living the best version of myself.
What can we do to reduce this stigma or this lack of knowledge or this, because I feel that people think that just because they reach out for help, it shows like they're weak. Or we also have this thing of being secret, like we keep secrets. Yeah, top secret. Keep your problems to yourselves. You going to open up to a stranger, telling them your problems is something really, it happens, but it's not typical of our African culture where you're told, stay with your problems, pray to God and everything will work and keep it. So what can we do as people now? All of us are products of coaching and we know it works. Yeah. What can we do to reduce the stigma?
Yeah. So the very first thing is, like I've already said, you know, visibility about the topic. People want to see people that they aspire to be. You know, I want to see Tales of Yambo and say, wow, this Philly girl, she seems like she's really, you know, where I would like to be. So if you're someone and you consider yourself a role model in any light, be honest, be transparent about the people that support you in getting there. No man is an island, right? So tell the people who's your support system so that they might feel a little bit more open to approaching that. The second thing is understanding, you know, there's the saying that I couldn't stop cutting the tree to sharpen the saw because I had to cut the tree, you know? And this mentality of just continuously working on something and not taking the time to assess your processes, you know, organizations do that. So I talk a lot now about how corporate skills are life skills. If I told you a business hired a consultant to review their processes, improve them so they could, you know, reduce costs and make more money, you'd say that makes sense. But if I told you that someone said, hey, you know what, I need to take a month off, I have a consultant who's going to help me to figure out, you know, where I'm going and how to get there in the best direction, as a person, especially a person from the African community, you'd be like, what's going on here? You know? So it's really about helping people to understand why it's being done, right? It's about optimization, right? Which makes sense in a business context. It makes sense also in your personal life. And I think the last thing I'll just add is, you know, there is a time and a financial investment that goes into coaching, right? And especially with people from our Black community, we struggle with that, right? Because it's like a trade-off. if I had to pay 100 euros, for example, for my coaching, do I invest in the coaching or do I help another relative because there are at least 50 messages in my phone telling me about the problems that need to be solved? And coming back to that second point is this investment is something that allows you to do some leapfrogging. You know, that's what I like to call it, especially in terms of career. You're here right now, you could be completely somewhere else if you have the clarity and a strategy that actually works to bring you where you are. And so it's just about understanding that taking this break and being in this coaching container is about optimizing your behavior, your performance, and getting results that you didn't believe you could get before.
Rachel, do you think you can add something to that?
I think Sandra has said almost everything. I could just add slightly onto that. Like, the first thing is we need to be open to sharing about the struggles that we're going through, and we're not taught to share about that actually.
True.
Like, we all have best friends, but you tell them everything about what you're struggling. We don't. So that's why we come in as coaches, because we are afraid to be judged. I'm not going to tell you all my problems because I'm afraid you might go and tell so and so. So there are coaches. If you don't want to tell your friends, a coach creates that space for you to talk about what you're going through, and you find a solution with them. But we need to first of all be open without worrying about being judged, because it's about your dreams, it's about your goals. So if you're worried about like what someone is going to say, what you need is help, not about what they are going to say. Even if they say and you got the help, what does it matter?
You're successful.
At the end of the day, it's what you're going to get. If you have a dream, you have a big goal, you have a vision. So being worried about if I tell someone my problem, they're going to talk about it, you will still remain with your problem forever. So you need to start learning how to open up to sharing about our challenges, our struggles, and a coach can come in there. If not a coach, then like we said, a therapist, depending on the issue we are dealing with here. So you have to know what do I want? Do I want some future goals? Do I have these big dreams? Go the direction of a coach, or go to a therapist. And if you are struggling to overcome some things that you have previously struggled with, or some things that you went through and you just want to talk it out. Sometimes it's just having someone to listen to you. It's not about even giving solution. Someone providing that space for you to be yourself, to get it all out. Because we struggle a lot of those things inside of ourselves, and they eat us forever. Like, they are always there, and they have to be processed. We have to have a space to process to all those things that we have been through. That's why I say we need both coaches and therapists, not just either or no. You can need both. Even if you don't know you need one, it's good you hire just for the experience to know. Sometimes you don't know you have a problem. You can ask. Everyone goes, it's different for everyone, but everyone has gone through something. They could get help through a coach or a therapist. And the second thing is about investing in yourself. Like, seriously, we are good at sending money home. I'm like a victim of that. But like, we need to, you have to see that as an investment in yourself that is going to make your life better. So not thinking, oh, I'm investing in a coach because you paid me 100 euros for a session. It's about you. And that's the best thing about that investment. Nobody can ever take it away from you. Every time you work on overcoming your limiting beliefs, or any story that you have been telling yourself that I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I can't do it, because the excuses, as you say, your bag of excuses, it's just a story that you have been telling yourself. And when you come to coaching, like what I do in mindset coaching, you learn about, to create awareness, first of all, about what's really going on inside of me. Then you learn how to investigate those thoughts. Are they really for true? How true is this? Then when you notice this just you telling yourself a story, then there's a process of how you can start changing that. In that investment, how you learn how to change your mindset, and then you feel better and you take better actions, and then you achieve your goals. What else do we want to say about investing on ourselves?
And now, as we're going towards the end, you can each briefly tell me, how does coaching affect mental health? Or in your experiences, in your specific areas? Just briefly say how. Like, I'm interested. I know for me it helps my mental health. It's really helped. But I want our viewers outside there to know it's not just, you're not just throwing your money. And mental health is very, very important.
Yeah, sure. But that's a great point, actually. Like, coaching affects our health positively. I'm a product of coaching, and I've seen, like, before I hired coaching, I thought I have zero chance. Like, I thought, look at me. I'm a girl born in a village in Kenya. And how am I ever going to achieve my big goals and dreams? There's no chance. Like you look at how your life has been, your life experiences, and start thinking, I have zero chance. But that's just thinking. That's just a limiting thinking. There's no proof that you can't do it just because of what you have been through or how you grew up. So through coaching personally, I have come to become aware of all those stories that I tell myself, like why I can't do it. And then through getting coaching, through learning how to change my thoughts and beliefs and everything, I've learned how to adopt new thoughts and ways of thinking that help me to see the future positively, to keep going after my goals and to keep achieving more in my life. So I don't keep telling myself those negative thoughts. Of course, the mind is always looking at the negative. Most of the time, everyone's mind, normally it's designed to help us survive. So to tell you things. But now when you have this awareness, you can just notice that's my brain just being the brain, but I can choose to think this way. Someone said, what's wrong is always available, but so is what's right.
What's right.
So you
it's
decide.
about a choice.
Your thoughts are all they're optional. You can decide on the negative or you can decide to focus on something that is going to be empowering. So coaching helps you to create more positive things, more positive thinking, and then you overcome that self-talk, like how you keep telling yourself, I'm not this, I'm not beautiful. It affects you a lot, but through coaching, it will change definitely that, 100%.
And Sandra, in your area of expertise?
So definitely it is partly what Rachel said, at least with the aspect of the mindset, right? It's about having healthy conversations with yourself, first of all, which directly impacts your mental health, right? How you experience every single day. But in addition, at least in my area, it's not just about the mindset, because this mindset in a vacuum means nothing, right? You want to have these positive thoughts, but you want to see the positive results, right? It's not sustainable to think, I will get a good job, I will have great colleagues, and then every single day go to a toxic environment where the reality is just something different. So coaching also helps you to take actionable steps, right? It's about the thoughts and then the strategy and implementing so that you live the reality that you want. Here in Germany, the average working week is 36 to 40 hours. It's a lot of hours every day. It's a lot of time spent in a place that will directly impact how you feel about yourself and the thoughts that you have, and directly impacts your mental health. So this is how coaching helps. It's about the mindset, and then it's also about creating the reality that you want that matches this positive mindset.
And while you were talking in my head, because I was in a meeting like a couple of weeks ago, and I was asked, Philly, what does success mean to you? And of course, the first things came, you want your career, you want your relationships, you want all these things. But then there's an aspect of mental wealth that people don't see. And I think that should also be included when people are defining success, because you can have that house, you can have the job, you can have everything, but with the wrong mindset, you're not going to enjoy it. So I think it's very important that we are having this opportunity, that we can be able to challenge somebody outside there that's saying that getting help, being vulnerable, saying, hey, I need help in this area, it's fine, it's okay. Culture has taught us to be strong. We are strong, to be indestructible, but as we've had today, it's normal and it's okay to ask for help. And who can ask for help? Some people think that you have to be down on the ground for you to ask for help, but a successful person can still come for help, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. Ladies, you really, really, really inspired me through this talk. But now we've learned the professional side. I'm seeing very lovely, elegant ladies. So for somebody out there, apart from this professional environment that you're in, what do you guys do for fun?
I'm passionate about all things coaching.
So even in your free time?
In my free time, but in different aspects, right? Yes. So for example, normally in my business, I'm focusing on this corporate skills and this life coaching, but I'm also a speaker coach for TED, helping people with communication. And in reality, it might sound like I'm continuing my work, but I'm passionate about the work that I do, right? So I've identified what I consider play.
Yeah.
And this is what I do. Working with people, figuring out how to get better results, you know, is what I do, whether it's in a corporate context or in a private context. And I get to take on different opportunities to do that.
And you, Rachel, what do you do when you're not helping people achieve their goals?
No, I'm actually a good cook. I love cooking.
Lovely.
It
Oh my
takes
gosh.
a lot of time. Yeah, sure. I know.
We need to go for
it
lessons.
takes time, but I enjoy it. It's like therapy to me cooking.
Oh my goodness.
I cook a lot. Like, and people will wonder, is she not getting tired? So, and I love my food. Like everyone who eats my food, they're like, it's not like I'm blowing my own horn, but I love my food. It's also good. It's not just cooking. So you did it.
You shouldn't have said that. I will be camping there.
I'm a cook. I love that. I really enjoy that. And also, I love jogging. I'm a jogger. Like really, I jog almost every day, but I make it short. It doesn't have to be an hour because people think like if I have this something, it has to be an hour now. Jogging, the best thing about jogging, you can do it just for 20 minutes. Just up your energy and then you are good to go. Or depending on the time. I have a child, so sometimes I don't have one whole hour, so I go to do it for 20 minutes. But doing something active, I know it's good for my energy and it makes me even become more productive. So if I'm not jogging, if I'm not cooking, then I'm reading a lot. And I'm just coaching people even who are not as me. I know that's not a good thing, but I'm always having that positive attitude towards
Nice. And if somebody wants to book you, ladies, how can they get you?
So I'm mostly active on LinkedIn, or they can go to my website, and on both of those platforms, you would find then a link to book an appointment in my calendar. And that's something I wanted to add before. Don't be afraid to have the conversation, right? The initial conversation costs you nothing, right? So don't be afraid. They just go on the page, book a free slot in my calendar that suits them, and we get to know each other. I get to know their goals, and we see if it's a match or if someone else might be able to help them.
So somebody doesn't need to be sure that they need you. They can just contact you and then have the conversation. Then they'll know how to go about it next. Yeah. And Rachel, if somebody wants to book you, how do they get to you?
Yeah, I'm mainly active on Instagram. Rachel Ray Coaching on Instagram, because Ray is like my short name for Rachel. Some people call me Ray, others call me Rachel. So I'm Rachel Ray Coaching on Instagram, or they can contact me via email. They can just write to rachelraycontact@gmail.com, and then they can just ask for a call, because I do offer those consultations, just a free consultation call where we get to know each other and to assess, to just know about your problem, and you hear about what I do, and we see, are we the right fit for each other? Because it's not just me helping you, it's also me looking at these people who I also want to work with, because I want to work with people who not just take information and don't do anything about that, because it's not going to help you. So you need to also be taking the information you are given and go implement on it. So I also assess, is this someone I can work with? So you come and let's have that conversation and figure out, even if you don't know you need coaching or not, we can have that conversation, and we'll be happy to help you.
Oh, fantastic. Before we wind up, ladies, your parting shot, take it home for us. You're speaking to the audience. They're looking at you. What would you tell them to take this home?
I would say, whatever it is you're doing right now, if you think about whether or not you can do more, then a coach by your side could help you unleash your potential, right? And if you're thinking the things that they've spoken about here, I know already, sometimes we are stating the obvious, but if you're not doing the obvious, then you need support to figure out why you're not there, right? Whatever you're dreaming about, whatever you're feeling in your heart is what you deserve, can be realized, and you just need to reach out to someone who can help you find the right strategy and start implementing.
So we all have problems. I want you to know you are not alone. Everyone is struggling with something. And if you have a problem you think it's not possible to solve, you are wrong on that. There are a lot of people who can help you out there. You just need to make that one first step to ask for help. Don't struggle alone with your problem, because I truly believe that everything is figure outable. there's someone out there who can help you with your problem. So be open to asking for help, and you're going to get the support you need. Let's start exploring coaching. It's a good thing and it's life changing, 100%.
Oh God, thank you. I feel so energized just having spoken to you ladies. It's such a great honor to have had you on this platform. And I think this is just the first of the very many times I'll be calling you to come back for us to tackle questions, because I know it is a very fragmented and complex area, especially when we're talking about people in the Black community. And I know questions are going to come, and I know you will be there to come back here and ask for questions. So my fellow viewers, you've heard what these amazing ladies had to say. I hope it got to inspire you, and at the very least, I hope it challenged you to think about coaching. And what we've gotten from today is that everybody needs help. And I remember there's a quote that I had, that those who believe they can do it and those who believe they cannot do it are both right. Which one are you? Until next time, for a great eye-opening episode, I am Philly Yambo Makora, and this is the Tales of Yambo.